friends, what is up? I'm starting this vlog a little later in the day. It is 10:15 right now. We woke up, fed Jackson breakfast, gave him a bath, and now he's in there in his swing watching cartoons and getting his formula. I'm getting ready. I have an appointment at 2:30 with my gynecologist. I'll explain in a minute why I have that appointment. I have that appointment at 2:30, and then we head to Rainsville and have music practice at 5:30, and then church at 6:30. So that is the game plan today. No, I'm not on a diet. Looks like I'm on a diet because I'm drinking water and eating carrots. I didn't eat breakfast. I'm usually not hungry in the morning. Usually about 10 is when I finally eat something. I just love carrots and ranch. Anyways, so I was going to explain why I am going to my gynecologist today. Well, this ain't coming out. There we go. So Friday, look, back up. So about Wednesday of last week, I started having some cramping, kind of like a menstrual cramp, and it wasn't time for me to start my monthly, so I was kind of confused. So I kind of told Kendall, I was like, I feel like I'm cramping, don't know why. Anyways, that went on Wednesday and all day Thursday. During the night, I would get up, go to the bathroom, and I would feel like super sick to my stomach, and I was having to take like a Zofran. I was kind of confused. I told Kendall, I'm like, I don't know why I'm getting nauseous, so I hope I'm not getting sick. That went on during the night, Wednesday night, and then during the night on Thursday night. And then Friday morning, I woke up, I was still cramping a little bit, but I just didn't feel good at all. I got up and fed Jackson his breakfast, and then after breakfast I put him in the bath because he's usually like pretty dirty and stuff. So after we did breakfast and I put him in the bath, he has one of the little baths that's like a seat. You connect it to the sides of the tub and the back of the tub. So I picked him up and I bent over to put him in the seat, and I had like a sharp pain in my stomach. 1 second, Jackson's food's going off. Anyways, I had that really bad sharp pain in my stomach when I bent over, and after I put him in the bath, I tried to stand up and I could not stand up. I didn't know if my gallbladder ruptured or what was going on. All I knew that I was in pain. I told Ken, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but something's going on and I've got to do something. I was bent over, literally bent over. I could not stand up. Kendall said, can you get Jackson out of the bath? And I said, I don't think I can. I literally cannot stand up. So Kendall's dad drove to our house and took care of Jackson so I could go to the emergency room because I was in bad pain. So I had to move the camera, it was falling. Kendall's dad came and watched Jackson so I could go to the emergency room. Luckily, I was the only one, so I got called back pretty quick. I had a low grade temperature. My heart rate was up just a little bit, which is normal because I was in pain. So of course my heart rate was up, which I actually have a high heart rate in general when I was pregnant with Jackson, which we're gonna do a whole separate video on my pregnancy journey, because talk about crazy, just wait till that video, guys. Anyways, I went to the hospital several times when I was pregnant, and all the nurses that took care of me was like, your heart rate is so high. One time they did an EKG on me because they thought I was having heart issues. And I told them, I'm like, I just have a high heart rate. They took me to a room and they asked the doctor. They said, what do we need to do? And so she was like, let's do some blood work. They came in there and they said, we've got to do some blood work. And she wants to start an IV, which I'm still confused at why she wanted to do that. But anyways, they came in there, and I have always been a hard stick. When I was pregnant, every time I went to the hospital, they had to have like 3 or 4 people to try and find a vein. I have just tiny veins, and it's not because I'm dehydrated, because I drink water, like a bunch of water. I was actually hospitalized during my pregnancy because my potassium got so low because of drinking so much water. I've always had issues with people trying to get blood, IVs, etc. So the nurse stuck me and blew 2 veins. She couldn't get anything. And so she called in a guy. He was super, super sweet. I think he was like the head nurse. And he finally got a vein, got all the blood work he needed, and started my IV. Well, my original nurse came back in and she was like, "Did you get a CBC?" And he was like, "I don't think her doctor wanted to get one." Well, they looked on the chart and he needed a CBC. And he had already, I'm not a nurse, so I don't know all the terms and stuff, but he had already hooked up the IV. And so he was like, "I can still get some blood for the CBC." And he tried and he couldn't. So another person came back in and said, "We got to get a CBC lab. I've got to stick you one more time." So she stuck me once, couldn't get it, and then stuck me on the other arm. So I was stuck 5 or 6 times in a matter of like 30 minutes, which is not fun because those needles do not feel good. But anyways, doctor came in, asked me my symptoms, and I told her I have a history of having cysts on my ovaries. I'm not sure if that's what it was or, you know, what it could be. So she said, "Well, let's do an ultrasound. The ultrasound will show if you have cysts on your ovaries, etc., etc." They did the ultrasound. I got to go back to my room. They got me something for pain because I was hurting so bad. So that helped me sleep a little bit. Anyways, the doctor came back in and she was like, "So your ultrasound showed that you had 3 cysts to rupture on your ovaries. And you also have some more tiny cysts on your ovaries still." I know now why I was in so much pain. I'm still just like super, super sore. It almost feels like I had surgery or something like that. That's the only way I kind of can describe it. But still really crampy. But they did give me some medicine to take until I can get to my doctor and see what he needs to do or what we need to do. So I got to leave the hospital and she said just to rest and take your medicine until you can go follow up with your doctor. So I have an appointment today with my OB, the doctor that delivered Jackson Lee. My appointment's at 2:30. So maybe we'll get some answers. Ovarian cysts run in my family. My Aunt Lori actually, it was a pretty bad experience for her. I won't go into detail because it's kind of personal, but she had a cyst the size of a 5-month-old fetus on her ovaries, and they had to do a partial hysterectomy on her at 18 years old. So it definitely runs in the family. So I hate it, but thankfully me and Kendall, we've talked and we've decided we're not going to have any more kids. If we ever decide we want more, we are just going to adopt. Our plans right now, which they always can change, but our plan right now is in about 5 or 6 years, we want to adopt a little girl. So Jackson has a sissy. I had such a hard pregnancy and delivery that I'm literally traumatized. I've had dreams of getting pregnant again, and it's more like a nightmare. And I hate to say that because there was a little point in my pregnancy with Jackson, I think it was in my 2nd trimester, that I felt good. But I had horrible morning sickness my whole 1st trimester into my 2nd trimester. And my 2nd trimester is when I basically had all the crazy stuff happened. And like I said, me and Kendall will do a separate video on that. And then my 3rd trimester, I went to preterm labor at 34 weeks. And they had to send me to Huntsville, and I was in Huntsville Hospital for, like a week and a half. and they thought I was going to go into labor. Then I wasn't dilating anymore, but I was having constant contractions. My water was bulging, so my pregnancy was crazy, crazy, crazy. So me and Kendall's talked, like I said, and we are just going to have our little Jackson Lee. He's just going to get a lot of spoils, so if I ever have to have an ovary removed or even a hysterectomy, then you know, it won't be the end of the world. But that would definitely be the last result we would go to. I'm gonna talk to my doctor today to see if there's any medicine, anything I can do to prevent from the cyst growing and rupturing, because you guys, that is a pain. Unless you've experienced it, you will never understand how bad it really is, because it is very, very, very painful. It feels like a constant contraction, but like the contractions that come right before you're about to give birth. Like the bad, bad, bad contractions. And it's just a constant contraction that does not let up. Thankfully, this time, when I had the 3 rupture, I was nauseous, but I did not throw up. About 5 or 6 years ago, I had 1 rupture when I was living at home with my mom, and it got so bad that I was like hanging over the porch throwing up because it was hurting so bad. Anyways, so on better news, it is July 1st, which means it's Jackson's birthday month. We are so excited. My little baby is going to be 1 in 9 days. July 10th is his birthday. He will be 1. And then July 11th is his birthday party. He's growing up so fast, so fast. I'll update you guys on Kendall's stomach issues. He's still having some pain here and there. He went to see a stomach specialist, and this smells really bad. I just bought this at Target the other day. I don't know if it's my brush or the blush. Oh! Y'all, this smells really bad. I usually use Tarte blush, but I dropped it the other day and shattered it. I didn't want to wait for it to come in, so we were going to Target and I just bought this, but this smells really bad. What I was saying was, Kendall, his stomach is still, I can't do it. His stomach is still tender, and he has some pain here and there, but it's a lot better. He's still taking his acid reflux medicine every day. He said it was one of 3 things. His acid reflux has gotten severe. Kendall also had a feeding tube when he was little, and it could be scar tissue growing around the inside of where his feeding tube was, or he has ulcers on his stomach. So they want to do a endoscopy before he can have his endoscopy. They have to legally check him again for coronavirus because it's been over 2 weeks since he was last tested. And he's actually contemplating even getting the endoscopy done because he has to be tested for coronavirus again. Makeup is done, and now I gotta do my hair. Beautimous. I got my Coke. Hey y'all, so just a little update. I just got done with my doctor's appointment and everything is great. He said that since I am so young, we won't worry about doing anything major right now. I do indeed have some more follicles on my ovaries, but he said if they happen to grow and get bigger and rupture, just to take some pain medicine and the pain will subside. So that's really all I can do right now. Just praying that the cyst will go away on their own, and if they do happen to rupture, that I won't be in too much pain, but I can handle it. So, yep, just a little update for you guys.